take your knees nice and wide to the outside of the mat. Place your toes together for a wide knee child's pose. So bringing yourself down. So just remembering your options here, you can reach your arms forward, or you could stack your hands in front of your head and rest. So starting our yin practice, nice deep breaths. So imagine counting to 4 for your inhale and counting to 4 for your exhale. So this is a really nice hip opener and also very nice for the back. But also if you have any stomach problems or ladies with menstrual cycle pain, this is a really nice pose to come into. Very nourishing pose for your body. So gently now bring yourself up out of the pose. So nice and gently, so you've been there for 3.5 minutes. And then just bring the knees so that they are under the hips and the hands so that they are under your shoulders. And then drop the back down. So in a extended child pose, we are actually in a bit of a back extension. This is also back extension. So then we take it the other way into a back flexion. So hook it through the back, tuck your chin towards your chest and your tailbone down. And then inhale, drop the back down, head comes up, chest is lifted. And exhale, take the back up nice and high, chin to chest, tailbone down. Okay, so bring it back to a neutral spine, and we're going to come into our arm, upper body. So take your, I'm going to do my left hand. Let's all do left side first for a change. Okay, so take your left hand all the way up, inhale, and then exhale, wrap it under your right arm and bring your temple down to the ground. So just get yourself into a position where you feel it's most beneficial for you. So maybe if you've got a little bit of a problem around the back of your shoulder, then you can just adjust your arm position and your bum position, maybe forward or back, just so that it feels right for you. Just make sure that there's no pressure through the head and the neck. Just make sure that you relax through your left arm. So make sure you're not pressing your left arm into the mat. So the aim in yin here is to relax through the muscles so that the stretch can go nice and deep to the connective tissue. If you experience any tingling in your fingers, then just move your position slightly. Okay, so I'm going to bring this down now into a more intense pose. You can stay here or you can bring it down some more. So what you would need to do is flatten your body. So we lie on our tummies, reach the right arm through as much as you can. So the right arm is crossed over the left, and then just relax here. Relax if you can. I will just turn a little bit now to show you from the front so you can see what it looks like. So you've crossed your arms. And then it's good if you've got maybe a rolled up towel in front of your head, or you can just rest your chin on your arms, if that's okay. So this obviously increases a lot of pressure around the back of your shoulders and the back of the arms. So just be careful, make sure that you don't push it too much. And by all means, if it's too much, just come back to the first pose we were in. Okay, so now gently roll towards your left side so that you can give your right arm some space to come out. Okay, and then hands to the ground, lift yourself up for tabletop, so hands and knees on the mat. Okay, and then we'll just do the cat-cows again, just hooking up through the back and then dropping down through the back and lifting the chest. Okay, let's say come to the right side. So open up the right side of your body and then exhale. Wrap your right arm under your left for thread the needle. So we remained on the other side for 2 minutes on this pose, and then 2 minutes taking it a little bit further. So we do the same, but obviously if you want to stay in the first pose, you carry on. Okay, so now to take it a little bit deeper, you can come flat on your body and then shuffle your left arm so that it's all the way across. And then you can rest your head, place your chin onto your arm, or maybe if you've got something to rest your head on, a cushion or something. But otherwise, just rest your chin on your arm. And maybe just notice the difference. So does this side feel the same as the other side? Does it feel stiffer? Does it feel easier? Just notice the sensations in your body. Just remembering to relax as much as you can through your arms so that the stretch can go nice and deep into the back of the shoulder. Okay, so gently now roll to your right side. So you can bring your left arm out and then bring yourself up into tabletop. So onto your hands and knees. And then again, let's do the cat-cow. So dropping your back down, lifting the chest, lifting the head. And then exhaling to take the back up nice and high. Now, when you come up like this, really push up through your shoulders. So take the mid back and your upper back as high as you can. And then drop the back down again. Lift the chest. And then take the back up nice and high. Chin to chest, tailbone down. Okay, bring yourself round now onto your bum. And take your legs out in front of you. So I'm going to face this way because I'm going to give you another option here as well. Okay, so take your right leg and place it over the top of your left. So we want to try here to stack the knees one on top of each other. Okay, so just bring your right leg round as much as you can. Okay, so depending on where you are tight, where your area is of tightness, then you may feel it more in your hip or you may feel it more in your hamstrings, in the back of your leg. So my hip makeup is quite tight, whereas my hamstrings are really quite flexible. So the next position, which I'm going to show you, I don't tend to do because I find it a little bit too intense, but I'll give you the option to do it. So you would keep your knees stacked here, and then your left leg, you can wrap it round and sit into this position here, where both of your heels are coming round towards your bum. Okay, so getting into the position is not so bad, but actually staying there for me is really not good. That's what I mean by your edge. That is way beyond my edge. It's pushing myself too far. So I'm going to stay in this position. If the other position was okay for you, stay there. If you want to, you can bring your body weight forward and then just fold onto your foot. You could rest your chin onto your knee, or if you've got a rolled up cushion, a rolled up towel or a cushion or something, you can rest your head, rest your chin. However, just make your upper body so that you can relax into the pose. So if this is a little bit too much on the hamstring, on the back of the bottom leg, you could also roll up a little towel and just pop it under your knee. Because obviously the pressure that when we're leaning forward would straighten your leg a little bit more, so it puts a bit more pressure on the back of the leg. So you could roll up a towel, just pop it under your knee, and it will take a bit of pressure off your hamstrings. So just notice the sensations in your body and maybe notice how they change. So for me, when I first came into the position, my right hip could feel it most. But actually now that my body is relaxing into this position, I can feel it more in my back. The sensations have moved a little bit. So just notice where it is for you. Okay, so nice and slowly now start to make your way back up to your upright position. And then you can just give your leg a helping hand to come off. Take your hands behind you and feet apart with your feet flat. And then let's just windscreen wiper the legs just to have a little bit of movement in the hip and also a little bit of movement in the back. Okay, and then straightening your legs out again, and then taking the left leg and popping it over the top of the right and bringing that round just as much as it will go. Okay, so that your knees are stacked one on top of the other. Okay, so again on this side, if you wanted to bring the right leg round, then by all means come round and sit into this position here. Whatever you did on one side, do the same on the other. Okay, so knees are stacked one on top of each other and the hands can just come to the side just for a moment. Just notice the sensations here, notice where you feel it at the moment, now that we've just started in the pose. Okay, so when you're ready then, you can bring yourself forward if you wish. And then just bring your hands down towards your foot or wherever you can reach. There's no need to really reach for your foot. It's more about our hip and back. And rest your head or your chin onto your knee. Just remember the options that you have there with your cushions. So again, just check in with your body and notice where your sensations are. So where is shouting the loudest to you? And then where else can you feel it, where it's maybe a little bit more subtle? So you've just got one more minute here in this pose. Okay, so nice and gently now start to make your way out of the pose. So bring yourself up. But just remembering we've been in this position for 4 minutes, so be kind to yourself. Okay, and then you can uncross your leg, place your feet out to the side, hands go to the back, and let's do the windscreen wiper pose again, or action, just to free up the hip and have some movement in the spine. Okay, so bringing yourself round now into seated and place the soles of your feet together. So we're going to come into a reclined butterfly, which is a very nice pose. If you've got two cushions, then that would be, or two rolled up towels, that would be perfect, or two blocks. You don't have to use them, but it just helps your body relax a little bit. So bring your feet together and as far away or as close to your groin as you wish. You'll probably find that when you lie down, you can bring them in a little bit closer. Okay, then lie yourself back and place your palms upwards and relax here, soles of the feet together, and just let the knees fall out to the side. So when I said about having two rolled up towels or two cushions, if we support the femur, the big muscle in the thigh, then it helps the inner thigh relax. So because your body isn't gripping on, like preventing the legs from going too wide. So it's quite nice just to have a little support so that your body can relax nicely. So you can put your hands anywhere really that you wish, palms facing upwards to receive from the universe, or you could place your hands onto your belly in like a diamond shape, and that is a nice self-healing pose or position. And if you do find that you're quite tight on the inner thigh, this is a great position to go to bed. So you can get yourself into this position, and then actually the weight of your duvet on the legs just gives a little bit of external pressure, which is quite nice. So you could use your pillows under each side. Just make sure you don't fall asleep, otherwise it might be difficult to move your legs after 10 or 20 minutes. Okay, so releasing your hands if they were on your tummy, and just moving your supports, if you were using supports, out of the way. And we're going to come into happy baby, but what I'd like to do is place the support under our bums. So just to help the SI joint release a little bit. So bring your feet to the to your mat, so your soles are flat on your mat. And then just lift your bum up So it's not going on your sacrum like I normally say. We're just going to help elevate the bum a little bit. So if it feels like you're coming into a position where your back is lifted off the ground, then you've got it too high. So let your lower back be on the ground, and then just the fleshy part of your bum can be elevated up. Okay, so bringing your legs up towards the sky, and then bend into the knees, and your arms come on the inside of your legs, but then hold on the outside of your foot, and just aim the knees down to your underarms. So just elevating the bum in this way just helps relieve the SI joint. So you may have heard some injuries related to SI joints. So this will just nicely release it off. So just try and relax through your legs so that your knees will sink closer to your underarms. So this is a good hip opener. But I always find this pose quite intense on my hip flexors. So my hip flexors are quite overactive, and yeah, so I find this quite intense on them. So we'll just stay here for another 30 seconds or so. I know this can get quite intense. When you're not used to this position, it can become quite intense. Okay, so just release your feet, and keeping the support where it is for a moment, just bring your feet down towards the mat. So you may feel a bit of heat returning into the hip flexors at the front here. So just how they've been, now that they can free up a little bit. But we're going to come straight into the next pose, which is a counter pose for it, but also we'll go straight into the next pose. So using your rolled up towel or your block, whatever you have to hand, move now your cushion, your block, whatever, up to your sacrum. Okay, and we can start with our bent legs here. But then as you feel able, you can just start to straighten your legs down the mat. So we were in our back flexion before in Happy Baby. And now we're in back extension again. But this is really nice just to give those hip flexors a little bit of space and nice stretch for the front of the body. If this feels too intense at any time, then you can lower the block that's under your back or simply bend your legs and it will take the pressure off your back. So if you want to make it a little bit more intense on the front of the body, then you can put your hands into cactus. So your elbows go out, your arms are 90 degrees out to the side. Or a little bit more would be to take your hands up over your head, holding your arms so that each hand touches your elbow. And that would just increase the stretch on the front of your body. So although you can probably feel this more on your lower back, it's actually stretching out the front of your body. But there is the movement of the spine also, so a little bit of compression, which of course will keep your spine nice and healthy and increase the flexibility. Okay, so gently now start to bend your legs. And once you're ready, just lift yourself up and remove your cushions from under your bum. And then bring your back down to the mat. And we'll just stay here for a moment, just allowing the back to settle into its normal position. And then let's counterpose with hugging the knees into the chest. So just bring the knees into your chest. Okay, so bringing yourself up now into seated, and we will take the legs so that your right leg is parallel with the long edge of your mat. So we're going to come into deer pose. So the shin is parallel with the mat, and then your left leg goes behind and your toes point out to the side. Okay. Put your supports on your right hand side. We'll just stay like this for the first minute or so, just to allow the hips to start to settle. So we want to try and aim for both sit bones to be down on the ground. So just try and remove any tension in your legs and your hips, just so that your hips can sink. And now we're going to turn to the right side. So your right leg is in front, your cushions are on your right, and we turn to the right side. So now we're going to aim ourselves down so that our chest comes down onto the cushions, or your rolled up towel, your blanket, whatever you've got to hand. So try to square your chest over your support. Now you can bring your right ear to the mat, not to the mat, to your cushions. Now, if it feels okay for your neck, you can turn your head so that your left ear is on the cushion. If you've got a problem with your neck, just try, see how it is. If it's too much, then just keep the right ear on the cushion. But if you turn the left ear onto the cushion, it will just increase the rotation of the spine. See how it feels. Only you know how it feels on your body. You can either have your arms bent or you could extend them out. So, but the main thing really is just to try and square your chest onto your cushion. So nice and gently now, bring your head so you're facing down to the cushion and walk your hands back up until we come into an upright position. Okay, bring the legs out in front of you and we'll do the windscreen wiper motion just to, again, movement for the hips, movement into the back. Okay, And then let's place the left leg to the front and the right leg around the back. Place the cushions onto your left side. And so let's just stay here for the first minute, just allowing both sit bones to come down to the ground. Now, if you're very open in your hips, your both sit bones are probably on the ground already. But for people who are a little bit tighter in the hips, the sit bones might be lifted. So let's just give it a moment just for the body to get used to this position. Okay, so gently now then, walking your hands around to the left side, and we aim the center of the chest down over onto the cushions. So twisting your body and aiming the center of the chest down, and then placing your left ear onto your cushions. Okay, so if it feels okay now, then you can turn so that your right ear is on the cushion. And then also remember you can extend your arms if you wish, or keep them bent, entirely up to you. Okay, so facing the cushions, so your head is looking straight down, bending through the arms if they were extended, and gently bringing yourself back up into your seated position. Okay, taking the hands behind you and unraveling your legs. And let's do the windscreen wiper motion again. Okay, so bringing yourself round now and onto your knees. So we're going to come into hero pose, or saddle pose as we call it in yin. I'd recommend taking a cushion or a rolled up towel first of all. You can always remove it if you feel you don't need it. So come to your knees and then pop the cushion in between so you can come to sit on it completely. So sitting up nice and tall. So taking the arms and extend them forward. Okay, and now wrap the right arm under the left, and then just keep going round in a circle until your palms reach together. So if you feel that you don't need to sit on your cushion, then your bum needs to come to the ground in between your feet. Okay, so don't sit onto your heels. Heels are at the side. Okay, releasing the arms. And then if you do want to see about going a little bit deeper, then maybe push your cushion rather than sitting on it completely. Push it back a little bit. So just the edge of your bum is on the cushion. That's generally what I do. It will take you down a little bit deeper, but still give you that little bit of support. Okay. Or if you've gone from there, then maybe you can go down to the floor. So taking the arms forward, and then this time the left arm goes under the right, and just keep wrapping your arms around until your palms come together. So we eagle the arms. Okay, releasing the arms again. And maybe you can, if this is quite enough for you, then that's fine. If not, maybe see if you can go just a little bit deeper. So generally towards the end of the pose, we've been here for 3.5 minutes. I can bring my bum down to the ground, but I find it very difficult to do it straight away. So see how you go. So we've just got another 20 or so seconds in this position. Okay, so bring yourself up onto your hands and your knees. So it takes me just a few moments to come out of this pose. So just bear with me if you come out quicker, but you should always come out nice and gently. And then if you felt it quite a lot in your ankles, then maybe just give your, not your ankles, the front of your foot, maybe just give your feet a tap on the mat. And then you can extend one leg out to the back, tuck your toes under so that you get the opposite movement on your ankle. And then pop that knee down to the mat and take the other leg out. Again, tucking the toes under so that you come into an ankle flexion or a plantar flexion. Okay, so bringing yourself round now onto your bum, and this is our last pose now, Shavasana. So take your legs out to the side of your mat so that your feet fall naturally out to the sides. Lie yourself down, and you can place your palms upwards. And we'll just have a few moments of relaxation and peace. Just be mindful that now is when your mind is going to start racing and start presenting you with stories. So just try to ignore them just for your Shavasana, and then you can get on with your day. So gently start to bring the awareness back to your body on the mat. You can start with having a little bit of movement through your fingers and your toes, and deepen your breath. And then inhale and take your arms all the way up over the top of your head. Bring your feet together so we can have a full body stretch. So reach up with your hands and reach down with your feet. And then bend your legs and place your feet by your sit bones. And roll to your left side using your left arm as a pillow. When you're ready, bring yourself up to seated, keeping your eyes closed. And place your hands in front of your heart center. And we'll finish the class with one arm. So take a nice deep breath in. Slowly open your eyes. Namaste.